Hey guys, welcome. This is 11R1. Let's get started. I'm trying to find the surface area of all these figures, so we're looking for surface area. And first thing I want to do is recognize that this is a cone, so my surface area is going to be pi RL plus pi r squared. Okay, let's identify what we have. Well, we have the radius, which is 5, so I'm good there. And my L is actually missing. If I look at this picture, L should be here. I don't have it. But what kind of is nice, I actually see a right triangle up here, right here. I'm going to erase that because it looks just horrible how I drew that. But there's a nice right triangle that appears, and I can actually solve for that. So to find L, I can actually do this by doing 5 squared plus 9 squared equals L squared. L is that hypotenuse of the triangle. Okay, and I have my calculator out here ready to go, so I'm going to go ahead and just put these into my calculator. So I get 5 squared plus 9 squared is going to give me 106. So I got 106 equals L squared. So take the square root of both sides, and I'm going to take the square root of 106. And that just doesn't break down, so I'm actually going to just use that in here, 106. Sorry about my voice, still getting over being sick. Okay, so we get L as being the square root of 106, and now we can actually use our formula. So let's go ahead and use our formula now. We got pi r, which is 5, rad 106, plus pi. This is going to be r, which is 5 squared. Okay, so this just becomes 5 106 pi plus 25 pi. Okay, and I could leave it like this, or I could go ahead and simplify it. I'm going to go ahead and simplify it and put it into a decimal form with pi. Actually, I'm just going to go all the way. At this point, we have a radical in pi. It gets really messy. So I'm just going to evaluate all of this together in my calculator. So rad 106 multiplied by 5, and then we're going to go ahead and multiply that by pi. I'm doing all this in my calculator, plus 25 pi. And as a decimal, we should get approximately, so this actually would have been okay to leave it as, can't combine those, but approximately it should equal about 240.2, or actually 0.3 if we round. Okay. Alright, finding the surface area of this problem is actually pretty difficult. We have a couple different shapes here. What I need to do is I need to find the surface area of 2 figures, and then I have to do some subtracting. So I have a triangular prism, and then we have what looks like a rectangle prism. So I'm going to find each one of those individually, and then we're going to have to subtract some bases out because it's not actually on the surface. Okay, so right where they meet, they're meeting on basically a 6x8 section. That needs to get subtracted out twice. I'll do that at the end. Alright, so the prism, here we go. I'm going to choose this part as my base. Okay, that's my base figure. So I get P, I'm sorry, I'm doing this one first. PH plus 2B. Okay, so if I'm using this black part as my base, it's going to be 6 plus 6 plus 7 plus 7. Again, I'm going to use my calculator just to be double sure that I'm not making a mistake. And I should get 26 as my perimeter times the height. Well, if this is my base, the height's the distance between, so that's going to be 8 plus 2 times the area of the base. This is going to be kind of simple. 6 times 7. I'm going to get 42. And so when I put all this together, 26 times 8. Up, school's out. Go home. Yeah, I'm doing this video during 4th period, or 6th period. What's up? Okay, so add that all together, we get 292 units squared. I'm going to put that in a box for right now. Okay, so I found the surface area of this box here Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and erase this. A nice and clean start. And I'm going to find the prism. And for the prism, it's going to be P times H plus 2B. But this time my base figure, this is a 5 and this is a 6. My base figure is this piece. It's a triangle. Okay, so I'll fill that in. So my perimeter is going to be 16. 5 plus 5 plus 6. My height is still 8, the distance between the two. Plus 2 times the area of the base. Well, this is kind of a tricky one. My base figure, I'm going to break this down. This is 3, this is 5, and if you haven't guessed, this is going to be 4. This is a right triangle. Okay, this is a Pythagorean triple. So my height is 4. So the area of the triangle is actually 1/2 4 times 6, which is going to be 12. So we get 12 here. Okay, let's go ahead and do all of our math. 16 times 8. Okay, we get 128 plus, we're going to do 12 times 2, which is 24. So we get 152 units squared. Now normally I would just add those two together, but we have an overlap. Okay, so I'm going to try and help you visualize this real quick, but technically this segment that's kind of like right in here is where they meet is not accounted for, but when we do the surface area formula, we actually accounted for it twice, and that's a 6 by 8 section. So I have to literally do 6 times 8 and multiply that by 2 because there's 2 of those. So I'll multiply all of that by 2, and we're going to get 48 times 2, which is 96. Okay, so these are my 3 big players. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 152 to 292, but then I'm going to subtract 96 because that was an overlap. So we got to think about this logically. If this was a house I'm painting, I don't have to do that overlap part twice. 152 plus 292 minus 96, and I come up with 348 square units. Now, I could have just found each one of these pieces, but I like using the formula and then subtracting it out. I think it's just a little bit faster and nicer. Okay, so there we go. That was a doozy. Alright, here's our last one. This is a hexagonal, so it's always important to know what base we have. This is, whoops, forgot the A in there. Hexagonal prism, pyramid. So the surface area for a pyramid is given to us as 1/2 PL plus B. Well, 4 is the side length, so perimeter is going to be equal to 4 times 6 sides, which is 24. Slant height is given to me as 12.2. The area of the base is not given to me. What I actually have to do is I don't have the apothem either, so I got to kind of draw in my own apothem. And this is where we're going to get back to doing this. So that little triangle in there breaks the 4 up into 2. We have the apothem here, and we have to do that 360 divided by 6. Remember that? 360 divided by 6. Okay, when we do 360 divided by 6, we get 60. Then we get divided by 2. That's 30. So we get 30 degrees up here, which means this is a 30, 60, 90. So my apothem is actually 2 rad 3. Now I can actually solve for this. I have all my pieces. So let's go ahead and solve it. Switch the colors up. So we get 1/2 perimeter, which is 24, times the slant height, which is 12.2, plus the area of one base, that's going to be 1/2 2 rad 3 of the apothem, times the perimeter, which is 24. It should be in brackets, actually. Okay, and just FYI, might have lost some of you, but this is just the formula for a regular hexagon, 1/2 AP. That's where I got that from. We'll go ahead and evaluate all of that. 24 times 12.2 divided by 2. So we go ahead and we get 152. Whoops, wrote that wrong. 152.5 plus, over here, we're going to get 24 rad 3. If we leave this in radical form, I'm done right there. If we don't leave this in radical form, then I'm going to move this down real quick. If we don't move this in radical form, then what I can do is I can actually just combine this in my calculator. So I'm going to do that right now. And I should get approximately 194 point, about 0.1 square units. Okay? Alright guys, kind of a long video, 3 pretty difficult problems. We'll practice them tomorrow, and we'll see you then.